and will be available on YouTube. We will send you a link once it is updated and posted. It is my pleasure today to welcome today's speakers. Today we have with us Gretchen Reed, who is the Senior Director of Professional Development, as well as Melissa Zinder, Manager, Social Media and Online Initiatives, as well as myself, Jen Fallon, who is Senior Manager of Program and Events. I'm going to pass the controls over to Gretchen to begin the presentation.
Hi, everybody. This is Gretchen Reed, and we are thrilled that you're joining us today. And we are even more thrilled that you are presenting a gold mine at our NBOA annual meeting in Orlando in a month, or 7 weeks, I think it is, or maybe 8 weeks. I know some of you are experienced gold mine presenters and attendees, and some of you this will be a completely new format. So for those of you that are experienced, either as attendees or as presenters, feel free to throw some tips into the comment box, and Jennifer will relay them at the end of the webinar as well. We think this webinar will take 20 minutes or so, and I hope you find it worthwhile. And feel free to, anytime during the webinar, post some questions to the comment box so that Jennifer can put them out there, and then whoever's most appropriate, me, Melissa, or Jennifer, will answer your questions. So in any case, so off we go. That's a picture. That's the Gaylord Orlando. We're looking forward to welcoming you there soon. Just to kind of fill you in on what kind of people you can expect to see and present to at the annual meeting, we've got this infographic that tells you that our business officers are typically very experienced, but not always as experienced in a school. They typically have roughly 60% have either an MBA or a CPA, and close to our average amount of experience is 28 years, which is close to 30 years of experience, only 10 of which are in school. So on average, our typical business officer at the annual meeting is experienced in a variety of fields and has come to work at a school because they are typically very mission-driven. So, and there's some other facts about who business officers are and what they might be working with day to day on this slide. So feel free to go back later and take a look at this so that you get an idea of who you're talking with. We do expect roughly 700 to show up. There will be business officers, technology directors, HR directors, facilities directors, and other school administrators, some heads of school and deans, things like that will be there, as well as business partners from our companies that support NBOA. In general, they are very collegial. They love to meet each other and talk with each other. There's sort of a feeling that it's great to get together and talk with other people who understand the things that you are going through. And as I mentioned, they are in this profession because they really believe in the education and the mission of the school that they're working at. One note about this particular session is the Goldmine Sessions is that a lot of business officers do come to this meeting to get CPE. However, CPE is not available at the gold mines because we can't, it's just too hard for us to document it. So if anybody asks, there is no CPE for gold mines, but just tons of valuable information. So what is a gold mine session? I'm going to let Jennifer Fallon talk about that.
Sure. The Goldmine session, we will have approximately 35 or so sessions for this conference. It'll all be at the same time in the same room. It's about 15 minutes long, and you present the same topic 4 times in a row. So you'll speak for 15 minutes. You can have Q&A in between if you'd like, or you could just wait, and that's about 5 minutes after, and then everybody switches. So we ring a bell, which is just this old thing that we've been doing for years now in the Goldmine session, and then all the participants switch tables. As you could see below, there is a photograph of kind of how it works. We kind of don't love the whole standing around things. It's kind of hard for people standing in the back to be able to hear. But at the same time, we sometimes just, will allow a few people to stand if possible, if your topic's very appropriate and popular. We hope to probably have around 300 to 350 participants. We're holding the Goldmine Sessions actually in the last session this year, which is on Wednesday afternoon from 10:30 to 11:45. And what's going to happen is we will hopefully also have 3 other sessions going on at the same time, so we'll have a choice. And it does, as I say, get noisy and hectic and loud, but most of all, we think it's really a lot of fun. Okay, so here are some tips in case you want to know how can I have a better Goldmine. Well, first of all, you really need to register for our annual meeting and be sure to make your own hotel and travel arrangements. As I had said, this session will be held on Wednesday, March 5th. If you would like to, we're going to upload the handouts to the app by January 31st, and a PDF would be preferable, and not to have it too lengthy. The reason for the handouts is someone could look for your handout prior to going to the meeting, or if they were not able to get to for the sessions and they might wanted to see yours but they didn't make it, they can also look at the handouts. So if you can have them uploaded by sent to us so we can upload by January 31st, that would be great. And later in this presentation, Melissa will go over how to do that, how to contact her. We would like for everyone to please arrive about 15 minutes early. Just let anyone know at the door that you're an actual Goldmine presenter, because for those of you who know, it's always really difficult. People want to get to the door and get to their table really quick, but if you let them know you're a presenter, you'll get there and you'll get inside. We want you to meet around 10:15. We're thinking we're probably going to have these at the Sun Ballroom C and D, and we'll confirm the actual room once in a couple of weeks. The table numbers are on the app, so you can look on the app. As I said, Melissa will go through that later to see exactly what table you're at. And of course, the NBOA staff and others will be there to assist. And make sure you just grab a bottled water, saved especially for the speakers, so that you don't get too thirsty as you're talking about your topic for 4 sessions. And then just to be respectful for everyone to end on time, just to be sure that we can make sure everyone gets around the room.
Thanks, Jennifer. And as far as ending on time, it's also appreciated if you hold people at your table for the full 15 minutes. What we find is that people get anxious to get to the next table and they start to kind of wander the room or lurk around the table that they want to get to next. And so if you can make sure that you've got content for them for the full 15 minutes, that you keep them there, we'd appreciate it. We always ask that they not move until the bell rings, but honestly, it's hard to control that. So we know that people will start to leave your table as soon as you finish. So if you can, make sure that you're going the full 15 minutes. Other ideas to make you a great Goldmine presenter, which we know you already are, but just in case. Since you're doing 4 sessions with about 10 people at the table each time, if you want to have paper handouts in addition to the electronic handout that will be uploaded onto the app, bring 40-ish copies. It's not required to have a paper handout, but you don't have a slide presentation, so if you want something to be talking to as you're sitting at your table, it sometimes is helpful to have the paper handouts as well as the electronic. It's entirely up to you. We find that our participants like to hear examples of how things work. So if you're talking about a particular process or product or activity, be sure and give examples of how real schools implemented or used that idea. Things like lists of pros and cons, lessons learned, do's and don'ts, checklists work really well with the format of Goldmine because it is fast-paced and you kind of want to be able to just go right through. Our members are detail-oriented. They tend to like detail, but with a 15-minute format, you really need to be careful you don't get bogged down in it. So if you want to put more detail into the handout, that is great, but just make sure that you do cover the material in your 15 minutes. Feel free to get in touch with me or anybody else who's ever attended or presented Goldmine to kind of get some ideas of what works well. Melissa is going to talk about how the app is going to work for Goldmine presenters and how to get a little PR going with social media.
Thanks, Gretchen. So if you haven't already, you can download the annual meeting app at that link. It's bit.ly/NBOA 2014 app. In the app, you can also find your table assignment. To find it, you can navigate to your session by going to the events icon on the dashboard, then browse by day, then go to Wednesday, because that's when your session is, and then under the 10 a.m. time slot, you'll see the Goldmine Sessions listed with their table numbers. Like Jennifer said, or Gretchen said, you can send, or you need to send the handouts to me by January 31st so they can be preloaded into the app. Please try to send that to me in PDF form, and my email is at the bottom of the slide. After January 31st, we'll upload all the handouts, and by February 10th, they will all be uploaded, and you can now this year change or edit the handouts or upload new handouts if you want by going to the speaker portal, which you will receive instructions for on February 10th through an email from Core Apps. So look out for that email for instructions. You can also update your headshot if you want with those instructions. Like Gretchen said, we are trying to get some more PR going about the annual meeting. So I will send out several social media phrases that you can just copy and paste into your Facebook, Google, or Twitter pages so you can promote the conference and your session to your followers. I'll be sending out that email in late January, so look for it. If you have any changes or questions about the app, please feel free to email me at the address listed on the bottom of the page.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. And the headshots are optional. If you have one handy, you can always get one from your book or from any kind of snapshot and send it to us, and we will get it onto the app. But if you don't have one handy, that's actually fine too. I'm sure people are going to find your table regardless. Other resources, that's the app link again. You can go to NBOA.net and look at previous year's Goldmines. They are posted under previous events. And if you can't find that link, just send me a note and I'll send it to you. We are updating the website soon, so they will probably be in the library after that. But for now, they are there. And just if you need other ideas about presentations, there is also a link to a document about that on the website, on the NBOA website. And of course, we are here to answer any questions and get you any help you need. There's the three of us. You can ask any of us anything, anytime, but you will probably get faster help if you ask the person whose specialty is that area for specific help. So for registration issues, times and rooms, things like that, Jennifer Fallon is the person to go to. For help with the app and social media, go to Melissa Zinder, and for content ideas and general assistance with what should be in your presentation and who you might be presenting to, I'm probably your best bet. Once we get on site, the best way to get assistance is going to be to go to the registration desk. Someone from the NBOA staff will be at the desk and will know how to find us. And we'll also probably know the answer to your question if it's something we can't answer. No, we won't know where Mickey Mouse is. But it's also okay to text me, Jennifer, or Melissa at the meeting. Obviously, we don't have your phone number in our directories, most likely. So if you text us, be sure and put your name and the reason that you're texting us into the text, and so that we can respond. And with that, I want to open it up to see if there are questions or comments that you want to add. And if you have questions or comments, go ahead and type them into the box, and Jennifer will relay them.
Sure. Thanks, Gretchen. We do have one question. It's a very good one. It is, if they have web-based resources to support a topic, will you have access to wireless access in the room? And the thing is, you will if you happen to be on like a laptop or an iPad, but you have to remember that you are sitting at a table, so it is kind of hard sometimes to have everyone actually see your screen. But I guess if you had an iPad, you could pass it around to show folks the internet. We are having wireless internet access. It could get slightly bogged down if a lot of people are on it at the same time, so just be aware of that. And I hope that answers your question for the wireless access. I don't know if Melissa or Gretchen want to add anything to that.
I would just say you're safer not to need it. We will probably have it, and it should work very efficiently. But if you've been to conferences, you know that sometimes things don't go as planned, and it's kind of out of our control because it has to do more with the hotel than with us. And we do plan to have internet access, but it may not go so well. We also find the room is noisy, so you're better off to not be planning to play a video with sound or anything like that. You certainly can hold up a laptop or an iPad and kind of flip through your presentation as a way of showing what you're talking about, but I don't think that playing any kind of sound on your device is going to be easy for the other people at the table to hear. So that would be my only advice. We certainly, if that's the only way you feel you can present your topic, then let's try it. But my best advice would be to rely on your voice, which is, again, why you need to be sure and grab the water, because you're going to be talking straight for about an hour in a noisy room. Other questions?
That's all I have for now. If anyone else has any other questions, you feel free to type it in before we wrap up. And like we said, this will be on YouTube if you need to watch it again. Gretchen will also send out to you this presentation if you just want to refer back to just the presentation. And that's all we have.
Yep, and I just have one last thought, which is that it doesn't take a lot of time to be inspiring, and so that's kind of the theme of Goldmines, is that you can communicate an awful lot of information in a short period of time. So we really appreciate your doing that, and feel free to get back in touch with us if you have any questions after you review this or as you're getting ready to present your Goldmine, and thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.